About a century ago, Argentina was one of the top 10 wealthiest countries in the world. In the first 3 decades of the 20th century, it outgrew Canada and Australia in population, total income, and per capita income. And that statement is really shocking as today, more than 40% of the population is in poverty. Inflation has risen to more than 140%. And economic instability combined with corruption has pushed the country closer to bankruptcy year after year. Argentinians were so fed up with the failing economy that in their recent presidential elections, they elected Javier Milei, who won by 56%, which is the highest the country has ever seen. Milei is a former economics professor and a TV show host who has been nicknamed the Madman. He won the votes in the hopes of reconstructing Argentina and starting the end of decades of decline. He intends to do that by cutting government spending, getting rid of their central bank along with the Argentine pesos, and making US dollars their primary currency. I agree that drastic actions are needed to change this country, but these will have some interesting and major effects on all our lives. The reason he is such a big advocate of getting rid of their central bank is because of inflation. Developed countries like America and Canada both try to keep their inflation around 2%. On the other hand, Argentina is seeing some of its highest inflation rates at over 142%. This puts immense pressure on every aspect of the economy. Imagine spending $500 a month on groceries, and then the next year those same groceries costing you over $1,200 a month. Over the decades, many people have tried to fix this inflation problem, but they all failed. The recent inflation started with the country's foreign debt increasing in 2018, which was unfortunately timed with the peso collapsing against the dollar, leaving the country no other option but to borrow money from the IMF, which this time was about $57 billion. But that money didn't do anything. The government kept on spending money on social programs and trying to keep people employed. And all that spending created a massive deficit, which meant more money being printed so that the government could keep spending. And so the inflation cycle started. Now, usually, when your currency is strong, you can print just enough money to keep things in balance. But the Central Bank of Argentina was pointless because the pesos they were printing were worth less and less every day. It all came crashing down in May 2020 when the country missed a $500 million interest payment to its foreign creditors. They have a history of doing that, as this was the 9th time they have missed a payment. So when Javier based his campaign on ending this crazy cycle by pulling the plug on the money printing machine, this really resonated with the people. Both in theory and in real life, this task is very difficult to pull off because this is not a small country by any means. It is the 8th biggest country in the world, with over 46 million people living in it, making Argentina a very complex economy. After his intention of getting rid of the central bank, Javier is fixed on adopting US dollars as the new currency. He gets the confidence to say that because currently, Argentina's citizens hold over 370 billion US dollars in cash, which is second only to the cash held by US citizens. That's a lot of money, but not enough to support a country with a GDP of over $621 billion. However, there could be an interesting solution to that problem. See, Argentina has a good, long-standing relationship with the USA, both in terms of trade and overall world peacekeeping. And a partnership between these countries can be very beneficial for both of them. Argentina will benefit from the use of a currency which goes down by 2% a year, not 140%. And America will get a major trade partner on this side of the globe. America and the Western world have been dependent on the cheap labor provided by China. So when they have political differences, all the trade between the countries gets affected, which impacts millions of people. But if America was to increase incentives for American companies to move their manufacturing from China to Argentina, it will reduce America's dependency on China and could also potentially make things cheaper, as Argentina is a lot closer to the American ports than China. This partnership will flow dollars into Argentina, which is exactly what Javier wants, and will also increase the dollar's strength, as there would be an overall increase in the demand for the dollar as soon as it becomes Argentina's primary currency. I know that making such big changes is not easy, and there are always complications, especially in this scenario where Argentina is becoming a BRICS member in 2024, a group that has been working to get away from the dollar for years. But all of that happened before Javier Milei got elected. So either Javier decides to go against BRICS and fully support the dollar, or join BRICS by potentially not adopting the dollar and going back on the promises he made to the public. No matter what he chooses, there will be a significant change in how much dollar is used for foreign trade, which could make or break this currency. Do you think Argentina will adopt the dollar or avoid it to keep their new friends happy? If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.